Investing face off, which is better, tax liens or wholesaling? So let's get going. What is a better investment opportunity for you? How can you make the most money? Which one of these will make you the most cash? So let's dive into it. These are two topics that I hold very near and dear to my heart, having done lots of both of them. So let's talk about the pros of wholesaling, right? So with wholesaling, you can generate pretty quick cash, sometimes within 14 to 30 days. Average wholesale fee can be anywhere between 10 to 30,000 bucks, and you don't really need much investment capital up front to get started with wholesaling. Nice thing with wholesaling as well, you don't need a real estate license, you don't need to be a broker. Anybody can get into wholesaling. The other nice thing with wholesaling is you're never going to have really a lot of risk, right? Because you're not actually buying the property. One of the worst case scenarios with wholesaling is maybe it's a bad property. Maybe you get the property under contract and you find out that the foundation's cracked or there's a hole in the roof or there is a complicated title issue, which can kind of clog things up and screw up your deal. Now, it's not the end of the road on a wholesale deal because often you can go and renegotiate back a better price, right? The other thing with wholesaling is you can target a very wide range of properties. You can target, single family, multifamily, commercial buildings, land, kind of the sky's the limit when it comes to wholesaling, all right? So what are the cons? What are some of the negative aspects of wholesaling, all right? So it does depend on your market. Wholesaling can be very difficult in very competitive markets. If you're in like San Diego or San Francisco, or, maybe you're in DC, places like that, extremely high price markets can be very competitive. So that's going to be tough. Now, the other thing sometimes is you could struggle to find a buyer. You put in all of that effort and you can't find a buyer, right? Which sucks. Now, that generally means you didn't get the property at the right price. All right. Now, another one of the negatives when it comes to wholesaling is the fact that it's a very, very low barrier to entry. But one of the things you need to always remember is easy to access information is going to equal often a lot of competition, right? So these days, you can go on to places like PropStream and get these lists and start sending text messages. And all of a sudden, you could be attempting to do some wholesale deals. But the problem there is that it is competitive. If it's easy to get the information, then it's going to be a lot more competitive. From there can sometimes be risks on the contracts. You need to make sure you're using the right contract